When I expressed interest in volunteering to be the senior medic of my battalion's elite quick reaction force platoon, no one believed in me, not even my own squad leader, who'd been in charge of me since I was 19. I had to take matters into my own hands. No one would support me. No one thought I could do it. I was on a mission to prove them wrong. They gave me a shot. They got a feel for me. They started teaching me how to work with weapons that most medics are never allowed to touch. I caught on very quickly. My final test came at the Joint Readiness Training Center in Fort Polk, Louisiana. It was our unit's final field training exercise, where we were graded by our parent unit, Army Forces Command. I made a couple minor mistakes, but my new platoon still had the utmost confidence in me. As the time grew closer to deploy, we began getting ready to leave. After leaving the States, the first place we went to was Manas Airfield in Kyrgyzstan. We stayed there for a week doing some last-minute training and waited for a flight to Bagram, Afghanistan. We finally made it to Bagram, Afghanistan, the biggest NATO airfield in the country. We had to stay in Bagram to wait for our final flight to Jalalabad, Afghanistan. We stayed here through Thanksgiving. Living conditions were overcrowded. Lines for meals were very long, not to mention how dirty and unsanitary that place was. As soon as we got to Jalalabad, Afghanistan, we were put to work almost instantly. The 4th Infantry Division was anxious to leave. We took over their patrols the very next day after arriving. My first deployment, we ran mounted patrols. We fought from vehicles and dismounted to fight. Doing foot patrols was new to me. Not even a month in, the Taliban organized a heavy attack on our base. They attacked us with a car bomb, followed by militants armed with small arms and suicide vests. We fought alongside the U.S. Army Special Forces, fending off the attack. It took us about 1.5 to 2 hours of fighting to fend them off. I'll never forget some of the things I saw that day. If I said I spent most of this deployment fighting, I would be a liar. We spent a lot of our time winning over the hearts and minds of the populace. We visited their villages. We gave them various gifts. We let them know that we cared about their well-being. We did this kind of stuff with the hope that they would not support the Taliban. Towards the end of the deployment, I got promoted to sergeant. This was a very large milestone for me. Before I came to the Quick Reaction Force, my former platoon sergeant told me I would never make it to sergeant. After getting promoted, in addition to being the platoon senior medic, I also became a gun truck commander. I was in charge of my own gun truck crew. I was given 3 soldiers, Private First Class Jimenez and Private First Class Luke would gun for me, and Specialist Gibson was my driver. They were the best soldiers any sergeant could ever ask for. A couple days out from us leaving, we ended up taking rockets and mortars one night. I was not able to mount up with my platoon. Being the only medic in the immediate area, I had to stay behind and treat casualties within a bunker. For my actions that day, I was given a Hero of the Battle citation. They ended up using this photo in the article when they published it online. As awesome as I sometimes make myself look, the truth is I could have never gotten as far as I did alone. I had a platoon who took care of me very well, specifically Staff Sergeant Holterfield and Staff Sergeant Wheeler. They never gave up on me, nor did they ever let me give up on myself. When it's all said and done, though, all that I ever cared about was making sure my whole platoon made it home alive. I thank God every chance I get for that. My mom always told me, it's the smallest mustard seeds that make the biggest trees.